Cowboys 2H Shaban Athuman, staff photographer Seattle Seahawks defensive back Earl Thomas, 29, runs towards the Dallas Cowboys bench after intercepting a Dak Prescott pass during the second half of an NFL game between the Dallas Cowboys and Seattle Seahawks on Sunday, September 23, 2018 at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Shaban Athuman, The Dallas Morning News by John Owning at John Owning. The NFL's legal tampering period opened today, meaning the Dallas Cowboys can now, officially, contact outside free agents. The Cowboys will be faced with numerous decisions throughout the free agent and NFL draft periods. In their attempt to build the best roster possible, the Cowboys will have to weigh the pros and cons to filling their needs through the draft or free agency. Recently, the Cowboys have opted to use free agency to fill specific holes with respectable talent, opting to devote most of their energy toward the NFL draft. Therefore, without further ado, let's analyze a few potential choices the Cowboys will have to make as they head into free agency and the NFL draft. Sign Earl Thomas for big money, draft a safety on day 2, or sign Adrian Phillips for an affordable contract. Despite both starting safeties returning in 2019, Stephen Jones declared safety as a key need for the Cowboys entering free agency and the draft. The Cowboys rarely choose to make a splash in free agency, but Earl Thomas could be the exception to the rule. The Texas native is the premier free safety in the NFL, possessing a unique mix of athleticism, intelligence and playmaking ability. During the Seattle Seahawks' reign atop the NFC, Earl Thomas was the leading force of the defense, patrolling the deep middle of the field with incredible fervor. It should be noted that paying Thomas doesn't come without risks. The former Seahawk will be 30 years old when training camp opens, while carrying a troubling injury history, as he's finished 2 of the last 3 seasons on injured reserve. Paying Thomas carries the risk of value loss due to injury. Also, signing Thomas means the Cowboys would either have to move Xavier Woods from his best position, free safety, or maintain Jeff Heath as the starting strong safety, the same player who led all safeties in missed tackles against the run. If the Cowboys would rather get a cheaper option in free agency, Pro Bowl special teamer Adrian Phillips would be a great fit. While he was rewarded for his efforts on special teams in 2018, Phillips is also a talented safety, making a noticeable positive impact for the Chargers when he's on the field. Phillips is lauded for his football intelligence, and it shows on the field, as Phillips is rarely out of place or fooled by play action. On top of that, Phillips is a reliable tackler who is excellent in coverage from the box and when aligned deep in split safety coverages, cover 2 quarters. Phillips lacks the range to be an every-down free safety in the Cowboys' defense but could thrive as a strong safety. Phillips' presence would allow Woods to remain at his best position while upgrading the strong safety position as well. In the event that free agency doesn't bear any fruit, the Cowboys could look to upgrade the safety position on day 2 of the NFL draft. We should be talking about Taylor Rapp, 6 feet 0 inches, 200, more than we currently are. He's a do-it-all type of safety. Not as lengthy, but he reminds me a lot of Harrison Smith coming out of Notre Dame. pic.twitter.com/cnhem15rg, Jordan Reed, @JRightyNFL, February 11, 2019. Washington's Taylor Rapp would be an outstanding addition to the Cowboys' defense, but he may not last to pick no. 58. Virginia's Juan Thornhill is another potential option in round 2, but his excellent performance at the NFL Scouting Combine may put him out of Dallas' grasp. Mississippi State's Jonathan Abram would provide the Cowboys with a physical tone setter in the secondary. Abram is a downhill thumper who could be a major asset defending the run. Unfortunately, Abram displays some stiffness in his hips, causing him to struggle in coverage at times. Even though drafting a safety would be significantly cheaper and signing Phillips would be a more seamless fit, the best decision for the Cowboys would be to eschew their normal free agency plan and pay Thomas what is necessary to put a star on his helmet. Since 2015, the Cowboys have failed to finish better than 24th in interceptions, finishing with 10 interceptions or less in each of those seasons. As long as he remains healthy, those totals will almost assuredly increase with Thomas's presence. With Jason Garrett entering a contract year and Jerry Jones adamant in his urgency to win immediately, signing Thomas is the only decision that makes sense. He's the type of presence who could turn the Cowboys' defense from good in 2018 to great in 2019. The other options can't do that. Verdict: sign Earl Thomas. Sign Dion Jordan, or drafted defensive end in the second round. Even though there is a slight chance Randy Gregory still suits up for the Cowboys in 2019, the Cowboys would be wise to operate as if the talented pass rusher will miss next season, which is why the team will likely look to add talent to the defensive end position in free agency or the draft. In free agency, most of the enticing names, such as Trey Flowers and Justin Houston, are likely to cash in on big deals that are out of the Cowboys' price range. Therefore, it would make much more sense if Dallas went bargain bin hunting for another defensive end. Those types of players typically don't make a discernible impact on their new teams. However, one name who may be the exception to that rule is former Seahawks defensive end Dion Jordan, who was the third overall pick in the 2013 NFL Draft. Jordan, who has dealt with his fair share of injuries since returning to football, will likely come cheap but has the talent to make a noticeable impact for the Cowboys' defense. Listed at 6'6" and 284 pounds, Jordan has the size and length that the Cowboys covet in defensive ends while possessing impressive athletic traits as well. This is an impressive rub from Miller is an edge to keep an eye on as the process moves forward. Very impressed in early studies of him. Alabama's Christian Miller fits the profile of a Cowboys defensive end to go along with some enticing pass rush traits. He possesses the speed and lower body flexibility to consistently win with speed on the outside edge track and has outstanding hands to shorten the edge as well. Okay, let's dive into Michigan edge Chase Winovich. First up, one theme of a lot of CW's successful rushes is he's excellent at layering his footwork to manipulate an OT's pass set to his advantage. Here, he takes a hard step inside before expanding outside. Pic.twitter.com/6onYHCR, John Owning, @John Owning, March 4, 2019. Michigan's Chase Winovich is another potential defensive end target for the Cowboys. He may not have the length 32-3/4 inches the Cowboys desire, but he has the play style and talent of a defensive end in Rod Marinelli's system. Winovich's motor consistently runs hot, he's rarely seen loafing on film, and he showcases the active hands required to be an effective pass rusher in the NFL. Ultimately, the only way the Cowboys can ensure finding a replacement for Gregory this offseason is by signing a free agent defensive end, as there's no guarantee that Winovich or Miller will be available in the second round since pass rushers tend to go off the board quickly. Jordan is the perfect mix of price tag and skill set to justify the move in free agency. Signing Jordan gives the Cowboys the ability to not feel the need to reach for pass rush help early in the draft, enabling them to adhere to the best player available strategy as much as possible. Verdict: sign Dion Jordan, only drafted if the value is right. Sign Ty Montgomery or draft a running back on day 3. With Rod Smith unlikely to be resigned, the Cowboys will need to find a backup running back through the NFL draft or free agency. In free agency, former Green Bay Packers and Baltimore Ravens running back Ty Montgomery would be a stellar fit in terms of price tag and skill set. Montgomery, a former wide receiver, has proven the ability to be an effective running back, averaging 4.9 yards per carry, and his days as a wide receiver enable him to be a dangerous receiver out of the backfield. Montgomery could fulfill Smith's former role well as a complement to Ezekiel Elliott. Montgomery's ability as a receiver gives Dallas the ability to get creative with Montgomery's usage if need be. The Cowboys could use Montgomery in a plethora of two running back sets to exploit mismatches against opposing teams' base defenses. In the draft, because they are looking for, at most, a complementary running back, don't expect the Cowboys to pull the trigger on one until, at least, the 4th round. Luckily, there are endless running back options depending on the particular skill set the Cowboys are looking for. Justice Hill, RVOKST. You can probably guess what I'm going to say by watching this video. He's a jump cut machine. Hill shows speed and great footwork. Very elusive and hard to bring down. Pic.twitter.com/HillChillPRs, Austin F. @unclemite21, March 6, 2019. Oklahoma State's Justice Hill is one of the most athletic backs in the class, possessing impressive home run hitting ability as a runner to go along with his skills as a receiver out of the backfield. Utah State's Darwin Thompson has another athletic, jitterbug type of running back who could complement Elliott well. Nebraska RB Divino Zigbo, 5 feet 11 inches, 222, -4.5, 440-yard dash at his pro day with excellent jumps, 37 inches vert, 10 feet 4 inches broad. He's a hassle to bring down when he gets going. Pic.twitter.com/I4XX-DIGITTYBP, Michael Kist, @MichaelKissenful, March 9, 2019. If the Cowboys are looking for a more traditional running back type, Nebraska's Divino Zigbo would be a great fit, as the 6 foot 230 pounds running back possesses excellent vision and power to go along with more nimble feet than you would expect from a running back that size. Stanford's Bryce Love is a potentially risky pick with the potential to pay off in a big way, as he is currently recovering from a torn ACL suffered in his final season at Stanford. When healthy, Love is a home run hitter who would provide Dallas with a starting caliber backup to Elliott. Altogether, drafting a running back is a much better option than signing a player such as Montgomery in free agency. Running backs in the NFL have a short lifespan, and it doesn't make much sense to pay an elevated price for a veteran when a team can get a younger and cheaper player with similar talent in the draft. Verdict: draft an RB on day 3. Sign Jeremy Parnell or draft an offensive tackle on day 3. Cameron Fleming proved to be an upgrade over Chaz Green as Dallas swing backup offensive tackle last year. However, he did not play to a level that should dissuade the Cowboys from upgrading the position in the offseason. Luckily for the Cowboys, a potential upgrade was just made available last week, as the Jacksonville Jaguars released offensive tackle Jeremy Parnell, who was actually converted from defensive end to offensive tackle by the Cowboys in 2010, to open up cap space. After proving to be a starting caliber offensive tackle in his appearances with the Cowboys, Parnell departed Dallas for Jacksonville, where he received a 5-year, $32 million contract. During his time in Jacksonville, Parnell proved to be an above-average right tackle in the NFL, possessing a powerful two-hand punch to knock defensive ends off their track to go along with his already outstanding play strength. Knee injuries have sapped a bit of Parnell's athleticism, making it more difficult for him to expand to the depth necessary to combat the speedier pass rushers. However, the 10-year veteran has the savvy, mental processing ability and experience to mitigate what he's lost in athletic ability. If the Cowboys decide against signing Parnell in free agency, then Fleming will remain Dallas' backup swing tackle. In this scenario, the Cowboys could look to find Fleming's eventual replacement on day 3 of the NFL Draft, someone who could be molded by Mark Colombo over the next 2 or 3 years. Saw it Move the Sticks post about SDSULT Tyler Romer today, so I wanted to check out his tape. This guy can play. Displays some serious rotational strength here, though it does get disrupt the puller. He does this a lot. Twitter.com/UWebSqueskyuk John Owning, @John Owning, February 14, 2019. San Diego State offensive tackle Tyler Romer would be an exciting option past the 4th round for the Cowboys. Romer displays excellent rotational power to toss defensive linemen to the ground while showing effective length and mirror ability to thrive in pass protection. Romer still needs to improve his raw strength, especially in his lower body, along with cleaning up his footwork issues when defending inside moves. Edoga is having a great week. Pic.twitter.com/Sayu1Ubut2GG, Dane Brugler, @DeepBrugler, January 24, 2019. USC's Chuma Edoga is another prospect who could be a great development project for the Cowboys at tackle. Edoga finished second among draft-eligible offensive tackles in pressures allowed in 2018, allowing just 3 pressures on 304 pass rush snaps, per Pro Football Focus. Edoga is still raw technically but possesses a ton of enticing physical traits. Miami's Tyree St. Louis could another enticing option on day 3 as well. All in all, signing Parnell to upgrade the swing tackle position is the best choice for the Cowboys this offseason. Because of Tyron Smith and La'el Collins' checkered injury histories, Dallas wing tackle will inevitably be forced into action in 2019, making the position much more valuable than a typical backup offensive lineman. Fleming is merely an average offensive tackle, and drafting one on day 3 is nothing more than a lottery ticket. With Fleming at offensive tackle, the Cowboys are forced to pare down their offense in an effort to give Fleming the help he needs to survive on the edge in pass protection. With Parnell filling in for either Smith or Collins, the Cowboys wouldn't be forced to do that, as Parnell is much more equipped to survive without the need for a steady supply of chip blocks and slide protections. As long as the price is manageable, the choice is easy: sign Parnell. Verdict: sign Jeremy Parnell. Re-sign Cole Beasley or draft the slot receiver on day 2 or 3. Cole Beasley has undeniably become an extremely reliable and valuable weapon on the Cowboys' offense. The diminutive slot receiver possesses outstanding quickness and change of direction ability, making him one of the most difficult receivers to defend from the slot. Beasley has undeniably become one of the best slot receivers in the NFL, and he's made it apparent that he expects to get paid like it in free agency. While Beasley has proven to be one of the more valuable weapons for the Cowboys on offense, paying a slot receiver $20 million guaranteed isn't the best allocation of resources under a hard salary cap, especially with Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, DeMarcus Lawrence, Amari Cooper and Byron Jones needing extensions in the next year or two. Luckily for Dallas, the 2019 NFL Draft is full of desirable slot receivers. UMass Andy Isabella has become a fan favorite among Cowboys Nation, and for good reason, as he possesses a wider skill set than his small frame would suggest. Isabella possesses outstanding deep speed and route running ability, giving him the ability to stretch a defense vertically. Drafting Isabella comes with a high price, however, as Dallas would likely have to pull the trigger in the second round to land the speedy slot receiver. Georgia's Mecole Hardman provides similar deep speed, is extremely dangerous after the catch, and can likely be had a round or 2 later than Isabella. From Wednesday's practice inside, I can't help but see Taylor Gabriel and Penny Hart's game. Strong at the start by Ederle, Hart's explosion is instant. Pic.twitter.com/YoffensiveEase. Josh Norris, @JoshNorris. January 23, 2019. Georgia State's Penny Hart lit up the Senior Bowl, as he displayed the traits necessary to thrive in the slot in the NFL. Hart is an effective route runner who uses his quickness to create separation out of his breaks, making him one of the best pure slot receivers in the draft. He doesn't possess the deep speed of Hardman, but he is a much more refined route runner. Some other desirable slot receiver who Dallas could look to replace Beasley include Clemson's Hunter Renfrow, Wake Forest's Greg Dortch and Toledo's Deontay Johnson. Overall, while it'd be odd to see Beasley line up in another uniform, his price appears to simply be too high for the Cowboys to justify retaining him. A rookie is unlikely to immediately replicate Beasley's production, however, at a greatly reduced price, a rookie slot receiver can replicate enough of the production to justify replacing Beasley. Verdict: draft a slot receiver on day 2 or 3. Enjoy this post. See more film room breakdowns from Owning here, Twitter, @JohnOwningMore in Cowboys News.